Gervonta Tank Davis going over to the Benavidezes. That's right, Jose Benavidez Sr. to coach him for his next fight in the fall. And we're talking about October, September at the earliest. And it's official. He's going over to Jose Benavidez Sr., the father of Jose Benavidez Jr., and most notably, the father of David Benavidez. Monstro!
Surprising to see it, I think. But I feel like he's comfortable with Jose. And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flipped up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, you know, when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
Gervonta Tank Davis has officially stepped into David Benavidez's training camp, and the explosive footage shared by Jose Benavidez Sr. has sent the boxing world into a frenzy. Fans are now convinced that two of boxing's biggest stars could be gearing up for massive comeback fights on the very same card.
It's just right off the top of the head.
He likes
seeing
to move
that
when he wants to move. Too.
Yeah.
And Jose won't care.
Actually, you see how long it takes him to arrive at events.
Yeah.
What's the deal? I don't know.
That's a weird one for me.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. You know, Pacheco isn't with them,
and they both are going.
Yeah.
And they both are.
Yeah.
And Jose doesn't fight anymore. I think.
Not really. No, he hasn't been, contender status for a minute. Jose Benavidez, really since Crawford.
The boxing world has been rocked by this shocking collaboration as Jose Benavidez Sr. dropped explosive training footage showcasing Gervonta Tank Davis sharpening his skills for what promises to be a blockbuster comeback. The unexpected reveal has fueled massive speculation about what's coming next.
Gervonta Tank Davis going to Jose Benavidez Sr. as his coach. I'm not sure if he's completely departing from Calvin Ford tutelage, but it's official. I just saw on Jose Benavidez Sr. Instagram and on his socials, he's showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out in this video and announcing and marketing the new Gervonta Tank Davis on Team Benavidez merchandise. Now, he had a few videos out there showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out and all those things, and I promise you, he could not have made this announcement without Gervonta Tank Davis's blessing. For me, this makes it official, their relationship. And Gervonta Tank Davis and David Benavidez, they've shared their mutual respect for each other.
The connection between David Benavidez and Gervonta Tank Davis isn't new, as both have previously shared the same fight card. Now, Tank has joined Benavidez's elite training camp, raising excitement for his comeback.
Their photo ops together, you can tell that there's a genuine like and respect that they have with each other. So I think it's going to be organic. And as far as what to expect from Gervonta Tank Davis going to Team Benavidez, listen, dude, I have personal experience training with those guys and their product in that gym. And I'm telling you, man, what jumps out more than the facility itself and the hyperbaric chambers and shit where you can recover, and of course the food. I mean, it's just chef-kissed, beautiful food over there. They definitely getting their grub on. But more than that, more than all of that, is really the family culture. Once you become a part of that team, you're like family. They even have living rooms and bedrooms and kitchens and restrooms, and you can literally live there.
This is the same camp that helped Ryan Garcia prepare for his win over Mario Barrios, and fans believe it could help Tank return sharper and more dangerous than ever.
So for me, you can't help but to expect the same thing out of Gervonta Tank Davis. Having great form, implementing it now, and working at a high speed. Oh, that's definitely Tank. But he doesn't implement that in the ring. According to CopyBox, Gervonta Tank Davis' lack of activity is historic. I mean, he is the lowest volume fighter in the world. And a lot has to do with his timing, his IQ, his precision, and his power. He throws something when he sees something. But it just so happens to make him a low activity fighter. And against Lamont Roach, I think that has something to do with the trouble Lamont Roach gave him. because Lamont Roche didn't give him much. So Gervonta, he really couldn't find too much to counter.
While fans are excited about Tank's new training camp, many are disappointed by the rumored split with longtime trainer Calvin Ford. Sean Zittel and Sean Porter suggest Calvin's recent interviews may have fueled the tension, though Zittel made it clear he still has the utmost respect for Ford as a world-class coach.
Jose, and then everything since then has been.
So that's gonna be interesting to watch when they come down the ring together.
Yeah.
Jose and Tank.
It's their business, but I just don't. I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford really. I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like that
made no sense, man.
Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off when he had promise. No offense, Truck, much love to you. But when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent. He has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did, and that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer.
Fans remain divided over Tank Davis joining Jose Benavidez Sr.'s camp. While the respect between Tank and Benavidez is undeniable, Thomas Cornflake LaManna believes Calvin Ford is still the best coach for Tank, arguing that a move to Jose won't make a major difference, and suggesting Robert Garcia would have been a stronger choice. Meanwhile, speculation is also heating up over Tank's next opponent, with John David Jackson emerging as a possible name.
I think Calvin is his guy. I don't think now, unless they had some weird shit, maybe they split. Maybe Calvin didn't like what he was hearing, what was going on, and maybe personally he didn't want to be involved with it. I don't know. I'm speculating crazy, so let me just, I want to dead all that. I damn sure don't think Jose Benavidez is a good fit. If you're going to switch, man, you go to Robert Garcia's, right? You go to a Robert Garcia or, who's a good
John David Jackson. I want to see more fighters give him a shot again, but that's just me.
John David Jackson?
Yeah.
He just has Clarissa Shields, right?
Sean compared Tank Davis to Lorenzo Truck Simpson, praising Calvin Ford for developing both fighters into top-level talents. He pointed to Tank's preparation for the Leo Santa Cruz fight, arguing that even Floyd Mayweather couldn't bring out the same intensity until Ford stepped in and transformed the training camp.
When I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system. There's a way a guy he builds from scratch in the Baltimore amateur program looks. And so that made me lend more credence to Calvin's work. I just remember Tank being in the gym for the Santa Cruz fight, came in heavy and was in Floyd's gym. And he didn't that spark didn't come and Floyd was trying to get it out of him. Wasn't really happening in the first couple weeks. He had wait to wire. He had a couple months until the Santa Cruz fight date. But once Calvin came to the gym from Baltimore, the spark started and the light came on.
Zittel also emphasized that Ford has been the foundation of Tank's career, standing by him through criticism, legal troubles, and personal setbacks while never losing faith in his fighter. Although he praised Ford's loyalty and coaching ability, he warned that the growing tension between them could develop into a much bigger issue as the situation continues to unfold.
I don't know. I'm just, it's I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through. And Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. Right. But hey,
to that, I'll say this, and then we'll do the
he stand down when you brought in Barry as the head trainer for the Lamont Roche fight.
Talked you up.
Right.
And some coaches just made for it. Much people think I hate Sean dad. I've told Sean every time, you need to stay with your dad, haven't I?
Oh, yeah.
I never told Sean to leave your dad.
Yeah.
I was like, your dad is made for you.
Devin Haney has now entered the conversation as a possible opponent for Tank Davis, with Showbiz the Adult explaining how he believes the fight should be arranged. He says the matchup could take place at 147 pounds, with a catch weight if necessary, but insists the biggest issue is the rehydration clause. In his opinion, Haney's greatest advantage comes from cutting weight before the weigh-in and then adding it back before fight night, giving him a noticeable size edge inside the ring.
I don't mind a catch weight, and I don't mind a rehydration clause. I have a problem with both. But when it comes to Debo, listen closely. Devin's superpowers is the fact that he can get small and then regenerate and get big. His kryptonite is if you stop him from getting big. If you have the fight at 135, 140, 144, Devin can make it. Why can he make it? But he can make the weight.
Showbiz believes the focus shouldn't just be on selecting the right weight class, but on preventing Haney from gaining too much size after the weigh-in. He argues that Haney is most effective when he enters the ring much heavier than his official weigh-in weight. If strict rehydration limits are enforced, that physical advantage would be reduced, forcing Haney to depend more on his boxing ability than his size. He concludes that even if the fight is held at 147 pounds, the rehydration rules could ultimately play a major role in determining the outcome.
So the advantage isn't having a weight he can make. The advantage is in the rehydration clause, stopping him from regenerating into a middleweight. I don't care if the fight is at 147. You put a rehydration clause on it, that's his kryptonite. That's his weakness, him blowing back up. That's Debo's whole thing.
However, Showbiz the Adult believes Devin Haney would have the edge over the current version of Tank Davis, pointing to Tank's low punch output as a major concern. He argues that Tank often waits for the perfect counter instead of maintaining a steady work rate, giving disciplined boxers like Haney the opportunity to win rounds with activity and control. That's why he sees Tank's move to train with Jose Benavidez Sr as a significant step if it leads to a more active style.
Right now, I'm leaning towards people to beat Tank. The biggest flaw Tank has is he's not busy enough. He is one of the most busy fighters in pro boxing right now, which is why this news is so important. Jose Benavidez Sr will be training Gervonta Tank Davis for his upcoming fight in the fall. David Benavidez is one of the busiest fighters in the world. So that can work with David Benavidez, showing him how to initiate combos, how to be first, how to be aggressive, not just a counter puncher letting you punch yourself out.
He further explains that while the current version of Tank may struggle against Haney at 147, a more aggressive and higher volume version could change everything. With Jose Benavidez Sr in camp, he believes Tank could learn to throw more punches, initiate exchanges, and apply consistent pressure instead of waiting to counter. That style shift, he argues, would make a huge difference against top opponents like Teofimo Lopez and even Haney. In his view, this upgraded version of Tank would have a much stronger chance in elite level left.
Now, the Tank we know, Debo may beat him at 147, but this Tank G-Money with Jose Benavidez Sr, knowing how to throw more punches and bunches with volume, initiating shots, going after Debo, that Tank has a better chance.
At the same time, in the growing conversation around possible future opponents for Benavidez, names like Beterbiev, Bivol, and Opataya are already being discussed, and now Ben Whitaker has also entered the picture. Whitaker believes he is not far from challenging for the WBC title, saying that skill-wise, he is already at the level, but experience is the only missing piece. He points to respected figures mentioning him as proof that he is heading in the right direction, including comments suggesting he has the talent but needs more ring time. For him, the focus now is building experience to step into elite-level fights confidently.
Not far at all, really. I say skill-wise, I'm there now, but it's experience that I need. But I've said it on someone else's thing. On Frotch's interview, he actually mentioned me. They said, "Who's a dream fight you would like?" And he said, "Ben Whitaker at Wembley." So if you've got the champion mentioning it, it shows you're doing something right. And even he said he's got the skills. He just needs experience. And that's exactly what I plan to do, is get experience.
Tank Davis stepping into David Benavidez's training camp, the boxing world is buzzing with questions. Will this partnership completely transform Tank's style, or is it simply a temporary move before his next blockbuster fight? At the same time, Benavidez continues to attract the biggest names in the sport, while potential matchups involving Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Bivol, Beterbiev, and even Ben Whitaker keep the rumor mill spinning. One thing is certain, boxing's biggest comeback stories and super fights could be closer than ever, and we'll be here to cover every major update. Today's story covered Tank Davis's surprise arrival in David Benavidez's camp, the growing debate over his split with Calvin Ford, expert opinions on whether Jose Benavidez Sr. can improve Tank's style, possible fights against DEVIN Haney and Teofimo Lopez, and the latest buzz surrounding David Benavidez's future opponents. The next few months could reshape multiple divisions, making this one of the most exciting storylines in boxing right now. If you enjoyed this update, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest boxing news, fight breakdowns, and exclusive updates. Also, let us know in the comments, do you think Tank Davis made the right decision by joining David Benavidez's camp, and who should he fight next? We'd love to hear your thoughts.